There we go. Hello, everyone. We're live. Sorry about that delay. We had a little something come up. That's been handled, and we're gonna get in a couple hours of Lancer here. Yeah, sorry. Now everything's all. I'm all discombobulated. Oh, jeez, that's not the one I want. Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Welcome to CouchCon, folks.
Soft shoe.
I did a thing and I don't know how to undo it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What? I don't even know what. No, not.
Okay, I don't.
Hello, Mr. Ballard.
I'm looking on Twitch and it's just saying, we'll be right back. So. Okay, I don't.
Hello, Mr. Ballard.
It would be a game without technical issues. So, here, let's talk. Let's let them know in the chat.
Wait, did I actually break it? Hold
I
on.
mean, I can see us just fine.
Okay, are we...
I'm gonna rush it, because
Okay.
it looks like we were going.
Okay. We should still be good. Sorry, everyone, I don't know what I'm doing, apparently. Today has been a day, but we're here now. Everyone, hello! Welcome to Heavy Mecha. This is our Lancer live play on Chromatic Chimera. I hope everyone has been enjoying CouchCon. I know the panels I've caught have all been fantastic. Mr. Ballard did a fantastic map-making tutorial. That was cool. God, there have been so many good panels. Have y'all had a chance to catch any?
I got to see the one on GMing techniques hosted by Nala, and that was great.
That was one I was listening to while I was running around playing Animal Crossing. Just had it in the background while I'm busy.
Yeah, during the delay, don't worry. We got plenty of Animal Crossing talk out of the way. We really should have just gone live and had an Animal Crossing panel.
That's what we should have done.
I mean,
I think Animal Crossing, as it relates to the role-playing experience, would have been a phenomenal choice.
Adding more Animal Crossing into your Call of Cthulhu game.
time to.
That improvement?
I'd play that crossover. We're gonna keep giving people time to trickle in here. I normally try to give like 5 at least minutes of lead time, and but we went ahead and went live so that y'all knew that we were here, knew that we were hanging out. We are, by the way, doing a giveaway of a Lancer book at some point during the stream. Probably, I was thinking originally I was going to do it at the break. I don't think we're going to have a break because we're probably just going to play for this. We have about 2 hours left before the DM shot runs. A one-shot 4 DMs. Where all of Chromatic Chimera's poor, beleaguered DMs who have a stack of character sheets they're never going to get to play are going to get to play some of them.
I feel so bad for some of their DMs this weekend.
So... Oh yeah. Noir, you started off the evening terrorizing another poor DM.
It's kind of my favorite thing.
T-Rexes and Krakens and all kinds of fun stuff, I heard.
If you're gonna play Dungeons and Dragons, then at least once try to be a dinosaur that fights a Kraken. That's just what I believe about the game.
Why not, right?
That ran exactly during my home game. Otherwise, but I'm definitely catching the VOD of it at some point, because I really wanted to see you messing with a different GM.
It's just me cackling for like 2 hours. It's really.
I mean, I get that. I get that every week. To be fair. Yeah, tons of good panels. Make sure you check out the vendor hall. A lot of cool stuff there. If you can, please support all of those creators that are out there. A lot of creators are struggling at this time. So do your part to help. Speaking of doing your part to help, I don't believe, because we're still using our original overlay, we do not, unfortunately, have the totals, but we are still collecting money for Doctors Without Borders.
True.
As of right now, I just brought up to we're at $1,205 gathered.
Nice.
Doctors Without Borders.
You can do better.
If you can keep that up, and we'll chat, we'll give you all the audio update throughout the stream here. Yeah, please donate. I'm sure that I believe that someone has I believe our donation link is still in the doobly doo below, maybe.
Let me see if there's a.
All right, let me not open Twitch on the browser that's displaying and
I'll take care of this.
create a nightmarish.
A hellscape.
No, but you should be able to pull up the. Yep, I got the link at the handy. Maybe, I don't know. Now do I have it? I have it. I have it. Haha. Okay. I'll keep that at the ready. Oof.
Cool. Yes, there you go. So make sure that again, helping people out in this troubled time. A lot of people in need. So we'll try to do what we can.
Seriously, this is like the weakest apocalypse of all time.
Everyone always thought it would be way more exciting. And you would expect Twitter to be less filled with Animal Crossing.
You know what? That's the thing that surprises me least.
The Animal Crossing and the memes. The memes don't surprise me.
What's going to wind up happening is we're going to have one of those, I don't even remember the title of the movie, but it was where everyone lives in the digital world, and it's got Bruce Willis, and that's going to be that, but instead of this world, it's Animal Crossing. We're just all going to migrate. We're all going to put our brains into Nintendo, and we're just all going to be Animal Crossing forever.
How much?
As a former Sega kid, this hurts.
How much would I pay?
I'm pretty sure that was Digimon.
How much would I pay for a Bruce Willis Digimon movie?
I would pay many.
The answer's a lot. The answer's a lot.
It's kind of like the
if I get to cast
Robotnik thing. It's either wonderful or the worst. It is one of those two. This is all off the table. It is here or here.
So how about y'all chat? What has been your favorite of our panels this week, or one shots panels, one shots games? I also wanted to check out all of the games. Just ended up being at times that were kind of bad for me because I really wanted to see the Witcher one as well.
That's a good one.
I got to see a little bit of it, and let me tell you,
really.
Doug Cockle. Man, no, that's they got the voice of Geralt to do Geralt of Rivia for the Witcher game, and they devoted. Yeah, no, go look at it. I started watching. I was like, I just had it on the background. I'm like, wow, whoever's doing Geralt is phenomenal.
Yeah, we're really nailing this.
They are a dead ringer. And then I look and I see he's separated out, as listed as a special guest. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that makes a good bit more sense now.
This kid's got a future.
I was like, I wonder why. It was such a thing. Like, man, the voice of Geralt is just nailing it. They should
consider taking out voice
actor to another. Excellently done. Well,
yeah, that guy.
You nailed that impression.
That guy should really look into a voice acting career.
Because you're just impersonating yourself. Well, that usually makes it pretty easy.
I do a pretty solid me.
I am great at myself, let me tell you.
missed that one. That would have been good. I'll have to catch up on it. I was doing D&D a whole bunch last night too, so.
Yeah, and I honestly, I ended up having to take a little mental health break from Twitter for the last, few days, so.
That's valid.
Yeah,
it's been wild. It's been wild.
Yeah. So I've been missing. I missed out a lot of these. I missed that they got the actual. That's amazing. What a cool community we have.
Oh, absolutely.
It's really
crazy
great
when you're like, oh, if I made real quick, I know we're about to start, but if I made real quick dovetail, it's like one of those things where people who want to get involved in this, I love how there's just whatever, we're all here to have fun. And I met a really cool streamer who would put out a call to arms can anyone want to play a D&D game on such and such date? It was literally when I tell you it's the first stream game that I ever played, it was in January. It is the first stream I ever did that was a TTRPG, point blank period, before I even did Kobolds Ate My Baby or whatever. And the guy's we talked for a bit, we DM'd, I'm here, let me show you some of my stuff. If you find other people, I totally get it. If you like what I'm doing, cool. Name was Galestrom. Really cool dude. He's yeah, I have a special guest who's going to be on it, by the way. I'm okay, cool. Whatever. And then I see the Roll20, and I see every character's name, and I see one character says Proton John's character. And I'm I've heard of that. I go look up Proton John's Twitch, and he's actively streaming with 2,000 people watching him. I'm okay.
BD.
So then we go play, and it's a couple hundred people watching. I'm I'm good on my first stream. I knew what I'm doing.
On a related note, to Kobolds Ate My Baby, don't say "All Hail King Torg."
All hail King Torg.
Don't say it on Twitter. Don't do that. You think it's a funny joke when you're going to do it? There are bots that when they see for Torg, they will respond with "All Hail King Torg," right? Real funny, right?
All hail King Torg.
There's multiple of them.
So they all just replied to each other.
I had to lock into replying to each other with this as my mentions just go crazy and please stop this. I just wanted to make a funny joke. So don't do that on Twitter. You think it's going to be funny. It is. It is kind of funny. It was pretty funny. Okay. All right. So we've had 5 or 10 minutes now. We're right at we're at 6:06. Okay. And we're going to be shooting. We're cutting right at 8 tonight. So we'll be keeping an eye on time. Yeah. Last week we ran longer than I would like. As I said, we're not going to be doing. That was kind of a thing where we were in a weird situation where I wanted to make sure that. Yeah. So we will not be. I do not intend this game to run till 9. So.
It'll help if Noir doesn't accost any more children.
I knew that was coming.
Somebody had to say it. And
but did they know?
Yes.
Okay.
Full stop.
Terrorizing the youth.
Also realized I forgot to grab my dice. Get up a dice roller here. Okay, cool. Well, I believe we're at we've given everyone enough time to file in here. So let's get started. Once again, everyone, welcome to Heavy Mecha. This is our Lancer RPG live play on Chromatic Chimera. One of our players is still dealing with the weirdness that we're all kind of facing at this time, and he will be back when he is able to. And we're going to figure out some stuff in the meantime. I hope everyone has enjoyed CouchCon. After us, as I said, it's going to be DM Shot, a one-shot for DMs. Make sure to check that out. think that runs 8:30 to 11. Don't quote me on the end time. But that's going to be a ton of fun, as everything this weekend has.
By the way, just real quick, 8:30 to 11.
Nailed it. On another thing, I also want to shout out Retrograde Minis. All of our minis that you can see next to our player names and the ones that we use. Also, you can see in the center there. All of those minis are from retrogrademinis.com. They have a really cool selection of fantasy minis, as well as they are working their way through the entire Lancer catalog. They are really cool people, and were kind enough to let us use them for our stream. And so check them out for all of your mech and fantasy mini needs. I also want to give as we do every episode, a brief content warning. Lancer contains themes of imperial rule, exploitation, colonization, and above all else, war. As the handbook states, the difficult themes within are real phenomena, are ongoing acts of injustice and cruelty, and are not simply fantasy or interesting devices to use in a role-playing game. Their inclusion is not flippant or simple, and we will give them the respect that they deserve. We do intend to explore some of these themes in our game, particularly the effects and traumas of war. Some viewer discretion is advised. Second off, more lightheartedly, this is a new system for us, and we're going to be learning it together. If we get something wrong, it's a house rule until we do it by the book, and then it isn't. By the same token, it's a newer system. If anyone has any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, and at an appropriate moment, we'll do what we can to try to help build an understanding of this great system. With that, let's get started. An unknown amount of time after the fall, estimated now to be 4,000 or 5,000 years, on Cradle, the ashes of what once was Earth, the population began to stabilize, then to grow as the climate found a new balance. Long-dead variants of food staple crops returned. Gnarled shrubs grew into trees. The oceans receded, cooled, and filled themselves with life that survived. The fires dimmed and then died. The greasy black and orange smear that was the sky gave way to light and deep blue. The air became safe to breathe. Civilization, too, grew again, and in so doing provided the germ of another downfall. First, local tyrants laid claim to the ruins of the past, organizing their domains around altars of scavenge and scrap. Wandering machines were tamed or hunted, followed, and worshipped. Small plots grew into farms. As before, lines and borders were drawn, land claimed, loyalties pledged. Scraps of cloth and paint and feathers and flags were given meaning and used to divide people into tribes, cities, kingdoms, nations, and finally, empires. Then the healing world was humbled by the first of three great revelations, what some might call the three great traumas. The discovery of the massive vaults, great stores of information and artifacts from before the fall. So far removed from old humanity, the survivors had come to think they were the first to walk under the sun. The vaults showed them otherwise. They were not the first. They were the last. Reeling from this knowledge, as the riches of old humanity were unleashed upon an injured world, the fledgling powers of Earth retreated to their corners. The second trauma was a reckoning. Global war, the Little Wars, a bitter fight to control and consume the scraps of the long-dead past. The survivors gathered together at the conclusion of the Little Wars to pledge peace. The tools of war and capital were thrown aside, that they might never kill the Earth again. Crowns and borders cast down, left to decay amidst the ruins of empires. New humanity, finally united in trust, contrition, and solidarity, raised one banner and committed themselves to one purpose: union. But the third trauma had yet to come. But that's an old story. Thousands of years gone now. Today, on the planet of Ithaca, what was meant to be a simple morale visit has taken a more serious turn. The escaped remnants of a far-off rebellion have come to this once peaceful land. Captain Galen Machinsky, hero, ace, war criminal. His ship snuck into orbit and his troops have landed, quite provably now. The opening salvo, an ambush from which at least one of our crew barely survived. Now they limp back to the first of the twin cities of Bagantu, licking their wounds from the ambush. Bagantu, 2 cities, 1 name. Due to the technical progression in spaceflight and the vagaries of relativistic speeds, the first built by the second groups of settlers to have been launched, using near-light travel and the new Blinkgate network. The second, the home to the first colony group, whose generational journey took much longer. They are a people culturally wounded by finding their promised home pre-assembled and already occupied. So, as you all limp back, 3 pilots in 2 mechs, how is everyone feeling?
Yeah. James is just gonna kind of look back. Go, well, I'm glad you made it out all right.
Thank you for getting me out of there. I definitely would have died. Definitely.
Nice to be it's nice to be appreciated. It just like goes faster.
Sort of surprised it was me and, not you, but it's fine. Fine.
You just gotta
have to. Gloria's gonna be so mad at me, dude.
You set the bar too high. If people have your expectations here, it's easy to go there.
I literally told her that that we probably wouldn't explode and we would try to prevent it, and I'm the one who exploded.
You gotta be more careful, really.
Smack someone about the head.
He's, as he says,
tell me to be careful.
He's just doing tricks in his back.
Stop this thing. Why are the seatbelts so bad in the second seat?
Oh, there's still seatbelts left? Right, I got rid of mine and not yours.
I had to tie them together, but yes, there are.
It's just taking up space. No wonder the keg was such a tight fit back there.
So,
there's a keg.
So to catch our viewers who might have missed last week or who are new to the stream, welcome. Last week, our group had gone out to investigate one of the landing sites for what they now believe to be the troops that have come to this world. In their investigation, they were ambushed after a tightly contested fight. Fuse's mech unfortunately overheated and subsequently exploded, allowing her just a moment to clamber aboard Shadowfall's spare jump seat before almost getting pulped by another wave of artillery fire. So,
the responsible, caring pilot that he is.
1 out of 3 isn't bad.
He is a pilot.
He is a pilot, legally speaking. So they are now heading back in their 2 mechs. after that loss, where we all got to learn a lot about what rolling bad on a heat chart means.
You're welcome.
Impressively bad. It was like a 3% roll.
Yep.
You know, I'm looking at my dashboard. I really wasn't that bad. I mean, sure, I only had one structure left, but it would have been fine.
That's not. This thing is literally barely being held together by nuts and bolts at this point.
But it is being held together by nuts and bolts at this time.
Guess more than my mech, for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, you really shouldn't be lecturing me. I've done a great job.
not
He
lecturing
says
you,
as there's a hole in the roof.
Just pieces of detritus just fall down in front of just. Yeah, that inspires a lot of confidence. Yes, thank you for that. Shadowfall.
Through the comms, you just hear, "Hey, lovebirds, can we address the real, true sadness? I installed a Zone Core Mark IV solid cannon and missed.
You know, I just feel
I'm not okay.
I almost died!
Yeah, sure, but you didn't. But I missed.
you hate
I spent the whole... I was ready. It was going to be the coolest thing. When I've been working and building, it's going to be like a boom and gone. And nothing.
I mean,
Just nothing.
if we're confessing about things that happened during that last fight, I gotta tell you, I didn't really read all the instructions about Blink Space, but we made it through!
Yeah.
You don't want to read all those instructions.
Please don't touch that button. Please read the instructions. Please do not touch the button. I do not want to get lost
You
between
understand,
realities.
You understand you might as well be telling him touch the button, right?
You know, like, I wasn't
I
really
grew
thinking
up with
of the
him, I
button,
promise you.
but she just said that, and I really kind of want to touch the button right now.
Leave the damn...
I will.
James?
She just
James,
pulls a knife.
James,
But
I am behind you with no less than 5 different forms of cannon.
Damn,
Leave
then I
the button alone.
Damn, I should get out of your range really quickly.
It is very easy for me to say there were 2 explosions in that fight.
Oh man, you sounded like a threat that I need to avoid.
Are you gonna press the button?
I'm gonna press the
Push the
button.
button.
So Fuse, suddenly your world, your view of the world compresses down to 2 dimensions. As you are once again shunted into Blink Space. Oh right, yes, do roll for me.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
The 3d6s.
We do still have to have the
You
roll.
just gotta make sure I don't roll the same number. What's
Yeah,
the
they're
likelihood I do that?
All I'm saying is if this little out of character, all I'm saying is if this shortened session becomes Rescue Noir and Meg from Blink Space,
Yeah. He comes back after your next repair.
I'm not coming to get you.
They come
I'm
back
letting
in.
y'all figure that out. I'm going to have some space mimosas.
Okay.
Fuse is just beating Shadowfell to death.
Are you ready for the numbers?
Go for it.
6, 6, 5.
That was close.
I'm going to let everyone know, without having been there, that that Noir's rear end was about that big when he saw 6 and 6 and saw all those dots on the other one.
Yeah, so Fuse, your view suddenly smashes down to 2 dimensions, and oddly enough, so does your body, and you no longer have proper
That's quite literally
feeling
as
of
fast as it can go before getting
where
lost in
you
space.
are, and then suddenly it's like you're smashed down to just this one dimension, and then suddenly there's the next smash, and there's nothing, and then you're back.
I love that so much. We're so far.
And just you've moved a couple 100 feet. Just
That's much.
I wasn't. What?
I think that's quite literally the fastest I can go without getting lost for eternity. So,
Once again, once again, I'm really glad I have this sound-based, like, extra personalized communication system, because once again, you're gonna hear it coming through on your comms. Hey, brother, I love you. Hey, jackass, if you get caught alone, please tell me how that's gonna go.
Well, if I go that fast again, probably pretty well.
So for those who aren't familiar with the rules of what's going on here, James Mech has the ability to jump through blink space, which is the kind of alternate dimension, faster than light travel deal. It's complicated, and you don't want to think too much about it because it'll drive you crazy, literally.
That's why I don't think about it.
And so his mech,
Stargate.
yeah, it's pretty much a Stargate deal. And so his mech has the ability to jump short distances through it. However, there's rolls involved, and if he rolls certain things, he disappears.
If I roll 3 of the same numbers, I'm pretty much fucked, and I rolled a 6, 6, and a 5. So
he disappears.
We were almost there.
He disappears into the ether for a short period of time, and then comes back. I think it's like after the next like repair session y'all have. Anyway, I appreciate the follow.
All right. Do you still have cons with our CO?
Check that. Hello?
Hello?
Well, once I realized once again that I've forgotten to change our episode, and that we're still on episode 3.
Hey.
We're in the past. That's how far it took us.
In the past.
I just see it as the Speed
There we
Force
go.
at this point. Speed
Something
Force
old.
explanation.
Episode 4. Something old, something new.
Teenage
You have
Rocket
fuses.
Lancer sometime.
You had Fuse's old mech that lasted 24 hours, so it's
Not
also
even.
something new.
Maybe 4 hours.
Oh, you rolled the oh, you just left.
Oh man, I'm stoked that we have some people from the Discord here, because yeah, Lancer went through a lot of iterations, and there were parts of it that were a lot weirder at points. So I'm stoked to
Yeah,
hear some
there
more viewpoints on rules and stuff.
They've made things a little bit less permadeathy in some ways.
Okay, so you all have managed to run, walk, blink your way back. You see the city in the distance. Yes, you all have your. Y'all are still in active communication. With Commander Kierson, your tactical officer.
Yeah, he's actually calling her like, hello.
That's not how you use it.
Yeah, she'll give you a yes.
Just so you know, we're making it back. Things
I will.
not go well.
We're aware. I will see you when you get there.
Okay. Yeah, we're still in contact.
Cool.
It's
You sound
probably.
happy.
Well, the contact was very intermittent. It's a little like choppy. There's a lot of static, which y'all do see as y'all are heading towards the city. Is a couple of trails of fire and smoke, which you would recognize. It's not threatening, but just shuttles.
Okay.
All right. I thought we were coming into some problems. Cause
I was like, come on.
I was gonna say, are
now.
those EMPs? Please don't let those be EMPs. Please, I'm so tired. I don't want to have to bail out of another mech.
You'd be fine in here.
No, they look under power and they're headed
There's the hole.
towards roughly where y'all.
All right, so yeah, we're just gonna park this thing responsibly.
Heading back to the.
Responsibly.
Why'd you
I
have to
literally had to tie
emphasize
these
it?
seatbelts together. I don't know.
I was gonna park it
James.
responsibly, but then you said something.
James.
So y'all make your way to the mech production, to the printer where they've set up y'all's repair bay, essentially in a warehouse nearby. As y'all cross the printer, you see that there is one completed mech. Ranger's mech seems to have been completed. However, the printer is still hard at work. As you see the beginnings of a new mech for Fuse.
Oh, Rod got out fast.
I think everyone knows.
I mean, it did explode.
Yeah.
Real big.
Not a good look. First mission out.
However, there's a new site as there's a couple of there's like field desks set up off to one side, and there are a lot more people in this warehouse than there were the last time y'all were here. Last time it was pretty much just the tech crews, but now you see people wearing naval officer uniforms. This looks like a whole like outpost deal has been set up, and y'all would recognize your tactical officer, Commander Amara Kierson, who is quite clearly at the desk, kind of watching as y'all come in. Also watching as y'all come in is a certain tech who is kind of looks to one mech, looks to the other, waits for a third.
Did I drop you off away from them so you have a bit longer before you have to deal with the repercussions? You know, as a friend, that's what I would want someone to do for me.
Yeah. Gloria does not look super happy.
I'll take that as a no. So he just has Shadowfall kneel.
Oh. It does not appear to have been a long, protracted silence, but a
tech issue.
A tech issue, yes. Oh gosh, now it all.
Not even worse.
she ran.
Now I'm Neon.
Fused Delilah just hops out of your mech and legs it. Apparently.
I jumped so hard that I changed all my personalities.
Okay.
Run! What happened?
You've dropped.
Wait, no, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. Everything just exploded. Yeah.
There we go. Okay, you're.
It's probably accurate.
Sort of back.
My end here. Okay.
Let's just.
It happened again. I exploded. Sorry about that.
I think she pulled the mutiny. She's Shadowfall now.
Things real quick.
He's dead now. I'm back. Out of it.
Okay. There we go. More or less back in order.
Sorry.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah. What was the last you heard?
There was a tech looking at us as we were coming in, and then literally my browser went goodbye.
Yeah.
And everything turned off.
Okay. So yes, there is a very familiar looking tech for you. Who looks to the one mech, looks to the second mech, waits, waits a little more.
Do you have speakers on this thing?
I do, actually.
Of course he does.
Yeah, sure. Just there's like a 5-second thing that happens before my speakers go off, so just bear with me.
What do you mean?
And now it goes.
There's like a couple of seconds of silence after that. She's just processing the thing that just happened. Fuse reporting in. I am in Shadow Falls Mac. Over. Click.
She, you see one of her hands kind of.
Neon's just sitting in his mech like, not coming out after that. You can't make me. Yep, you did it. I'm gonna let you walk into that.
And then you'll get, young lady, you get out of that mech, and you're gonna help me put the new one together.
Just takes the. Don't do the thing again. She takes the.
When she takes the thing and presses the button, it goes.
It's already does it. She just. I thought that was something you were doing. Yes, ma'am.
It's part of my comm system.
Why?
Because I want to be comforting.
Comforting?
So as you make your way down the ladder that Shadowfall will deploy for you, Gloria is waiting there. She will look at you. So, what did we say about treating my mech properly?
Well, I did do that for the most part. The
Where
enemies
is
we
it?
were facing had some significant weaponry that affected the heat levels of my mech, and I couldn't save it, so it exploded.
At this point, Neon's come out of his mech and he comes up and he's like, if I may defend.
Now,
technically,
Woodrow has told me all about you two and your propensities with your mechs.
in my defense, mine's doing good. All I'm saying is, if I may, technically, she took care of her mech. It was the other guys we ran into who were just technically speaking, who were the problem at hand. I'm gonna go this way.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just gonna
You
walk
do
up.
that.
Thank you, anyway.
Just gonna hop out of my back end and go.
Thanks, Neon.
Now, I've seen what those two do to their mechs. We all looked at those Everests when they were done. But I'm surprised at.
No one is more surprised than I am, ma'am, honestly. I didn't take any structural or physical damage during that fight. It was all directed straight into my core, and it exploded. I did manage to take out one of the enemy mechs with the explosion. If there's any silver lining, it would be that.
I build mechs, not missiles.
Dave's is just gonna walk by and go, lower expectations.
Just swats at him. Just get out of here. I think maybe some adjustments can be made to the next mech to prevent the same thing from happening. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a couple adjustments to the pilot while we're at it. Don't worry, though. We're gonna have plenty of time together.
Great! Thank you. Yes, I am very excited for this. How long has it been built so far?
They're like hauling in the base part, so it's a pretty substantial build. But I mean, everything's pretty it's like the way the printer does stuff. It's pretty IKEA. By the time you get it, it's all very like, socket A into slot B. It's not a long process or an arduous process. And as y'all kind of get to work, Gloria will give you the, I used to be young and reckless just like you. Let me tell you about the time that and you realize you're in.
I'm in for it.
For a long night.
I don't want to be her right now.
The two of y'all will be greeted by Chief Technician Woodrow, who is kind of watching this exchange from across the way, and as y'all dismount, kind of, wouldn't have expected that one.
Right?
I was sure it was going to be you.
You were right.
How many else right there? No, but
I had even money on it, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I had a little bit of money myself. It's still doing all right, but I got some recommendations for things we can do. It needs to go faster.
Part of the arm falls off.
Got too much weight in the back.
Can you turn off his blink space?
Can you make it faster?
I know it's built into the Smith Shimano, but like, can we? I don't know. Break its legs, maybe.
I mean, that's my thing's core feature. It'd be like your heat cannon, not. Oh, right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Whose robot is being held together by sticks and glue right now?
Hey,
yeah, that's right, Woodrow. Take a look at his. Take a look at mine. Yell at him.
So you know all the hard work
he deserved it
to make his core thingy shoot the heat.
I promise you next time I'm gonna shoot at you. I'm gonna shoot at you from behind and you won't blink out of this shit.
If last battle was any indication, I have nothing to worry about.
I don't think I would try to pull that module out even if I knew how. I wouldn't go messing with blink space, but
Now that makes one person here.
I really love it. It's everything that I thought it would be and more.
It's mostly safe these days.
I'm good with that. That's
Why are you acting like mostly safe is enough for him? Like you don't know.
You know, I think
with that as your wingmate, I say mostly safe is as good as you're doing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, I just need something that is a little bit more lightweight. Lets me go faster. And being targeted is an issue. I have some ideas. It's just gonna start describing his next upgrades in his mech.
Woodrow's gonna start like making notes up at like start listing repairs that need to be done, parts that need to probably be reprinted and replaced, entirely ignoring you as you go.
Next to be afraid of my mech. Yeah, there's got to be a way I could build that.
We're both having two very different
There
conversations.
is. Oh yeah, it's clear that like another tech at one point, like one of the junior techs comes up beside Woodrow, and Woodrow will start like listing this stuff, like going through exactly what repairs need to be done as Shadowfall just continues.
There's too many protections in the cockpit. It's slowing me down.
Slowing me down.
Why is it a 5-point harness? 2 seems like enough.
Honestly, like, I know how to lean back. Do I need a harness?
I know how to lean back. It's not like we're in space sometimes or anything.
Right. And, well, everyone's quite impressed that, your mech is more or less, intact, William. Correct?
Well,
You took one or two shells, but
somebody had to not die.
it's fair.
That's why all these guys are sitting here with I'm gonna be super fast, super quick, I'm gonna bloop, bloop, bloop around, and then you get shot once, and your flight system falls off.
Again.
Yeah.
Again.
You know what? That's right. That's
Your
like,
spare flight system falls off.
yeah, that slowed me down a little bit. I need to take that off, and then we can. Ooh, I have another idea. There's a way that we can make my blink spacing even more impressive. It's just going to work on its map.
He's gonna get us both killed. He won't even get us killed. He'll get us like nothing. We're gonna just end up in nothing.
Yeah, Dell's not there. Dell's working.
At some point, this is just Shadowfall riding a blink drive that he's put a saddle on.
So I was reading about a singularity motivator, and I think that I want to throw that in there.
He's just like Doctor Strangelove on a blink drive with a knife in his hand.
Yeah, let's make this baby go.
I'm not saying I picture him riding a rocket down onto the battlefield, but
Yeah, a blink drive that he's strapped a rocket to.
That sounds about right. That sounds about awesome, I should say. That's exactly what that is.
What I'm hearing is that the next game is going to be like a 40k orc game.
Yeah. Where you just speak things into existence.
With Shadowfall screaming more DACA.
About right.
That's what these systems. It's getting
Alright,
away in the
so
text.
y'all will eventually be dragged away from your various duties or whatever you call what Shadowfall does to his mechs. Y'all will be.
How's the guy whose mech didn't blow up getting dunked on so much?
It's because it should have.
it almost blew up.
You spend a lot of time describing how you mess with your mech. It's pretty. There's a reason that all of the Star Wars books talk about how crappy the Millennium Falcon is.
True. But it's a classic.
It's a classic.
It has the most.
You're the one sitting here like, yeah, my mech is like, this close to blowing up. After I was like, what's all these safety features? Who needs this?
It has the best shielding of all. Plot armor. That's it.
How do we quantize plot armor?
Calling it now by
hopes and dreams.
calling it out by episode 6. Shadowfall is just gonna be relying on the heart of the cards.
Yes!
Say goodbye to Exodia, and then you go to the blank space.
You've activated my trap
Calling
card.
it now.
So
Okay.
y'all will
Like,
be
you're a third-rate pilot with a fourth-rate Lancer, and we're just gonna be like,
What? Where did that come from?
as y'all are going about this, y'all will each be visited by one of the junior grade officers. Who will ask you to join them over at the growing intelligence epicenter that seems to be in the corner of this warehouse now.
following along, no reason not to.
Yeah, as if Dell has been released from Gloria's scolding. then yes.
Gloria will look up just long enough to, oh fine, but you come right back.
Yes, ma'am. Oh boy, time to get yelled at by somebody else. Okay.
Y'all are escorted over to where the tactical officer has more or less set up court. Oop, wait. Happened again.
Nope. Nope.
Maybe it's a Zoom thing.
I'm right here.
Not you.
Who did it?
It was
time?
Noir. It was Noir this
No,
time.
it's you. It's Noir who's just.
Yeah.
He went into blank space.
Yeah, Noir rolled those 3 numbers.
Time. I don't know. I can't even like look at Twitch right now.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Hello again. Your turn.
So yeah, y'all will all be kind of brought over. You also recognize that she has now also been joined by Captain Maddox. Who she will defer to. He'll just kind of give y'all a look. And say, report.
I mean, which one do you guys want to handle this? All right, so
This is
Go
the
for it.
worst choice.
so we went to the other town, you know, your rival town place. Went to go check some things out. Did some investigating. Through the investigating, we were able to find that there is a dropship location through some digital sleuthing. Once we got a beat on that location, we went to go check it out. At which point we were ambushed, but we were able to make it out successfully. All things considered, that's the gist of it, wouldn't you say, folks? he looks at William and
Digital.
Delilah.
Digital was that the boy's name?
I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
So the mother who came crying about the spaceman who accosted her her son.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know anything about that now, would you?
I don't know any such thing. I am from Cradle, not from space. So I'm a Earthman. But so if there's a complaint about an Earthman, that might have been me. But I think the important thing for us to focus on is that we have found the hotshot pilot who has turned against us. We were ambushed and we made it out alive. Good news, everyone.
So you remember this was a morale mission to start with, don't you, pilot?
Yeah.
What part of morale do you think that harassing children at a playground exactly constitutes?
I don't see asking children questions as harassment, sir. If that is harassment, then I have a lot of people that owe me an apology.
William's just gonna be next to Doug. Screw.
She's just sitting there with her eyes kind of closed, and she's got her lips are pressed to the thin line, like. Yeah, we're so screwed. Hey, Floppy.
So, what did your, no doubt, very important, very upright investigations at that playground yield there, soldier?
It yielded us the information about the printer that was being used to print a model of the pilot's Lancer. From
Captain Machinsky's Lance? Mech?
Yes. From there, we were able to get a location of the drop ships that were hidden nearby. Once we went to go investigate the area, that's where we encountered the ambush, which I think is the main event here that we're all kind of glossing over. We got shot at a lot.
Would y'all have kept the action figure?
Oh yeah, I definitely have it.
Okay, so you hand that over to him.
Oh yeah, something else happened then, didn't it? That's out of character. She slowly turns her head to look at Neon, and just like with a slightly wide-eyed look at.
How much does he know?
Back at the mech.
But the captain will like give it a once over and will. Was this the child that you
Yes.
investigated carrying this?
Yep.
No, that one was left on the sidewalk.
Oh, one moment. God damn it, Delilah.
Tell the
On this
truth,
question,
man.
do you really think it'll be better when the kid comes in here? Because you know they've got that kid waiting somewhere. And you'll be like, that's not my toy.
You want to tell?
What is your defense gonna be? Look, you're gonna
You
look at
want
him
me
and
to
say,
tell
yes,
them
it is?
exactly how we were able to pull the location of the printer? Because I'm not
I
telling
would
that.
rather not. I
Well,
would
then-
rather you didn't.
Well, you know what? I keep my mouth shut. You keep your mouth shut. How about that?
Okay. fine.
Soldiers!
Yes.
If I might interrupt you for one moment.
We had something in our terms.
I just
Clearly.
quick sidebar
So-
about
so-
the timeline of events.
Mr. Lee,
Which one?
he's looking at you, James. He is looking right at you. You want to try that again? Was this mech
Uh-huh.
in the possession of the child that you spoke to?
There's no way for me to either confirm or deny that it belonged to the child that I talked to, as it was on the ground next to a gaggle of children that could have included the one that I talked to, sir.
I have a half dozen intelligence officers right there that I can run that through, and we'll see if any of them buy your particular brand of bullshit.
Then you probably should have had them find a dropship and give us intelligence in advance about the ambush that we almost died in, sir. Or you could have them look at children. Whichever one you want, sir.
We're gonna get
So
court
much
martial.
trouble.
Also,
So much fucking trouble.
just one moment. I didn't realize that
Can you just size me for the
the captioner auto bleeped, and that's really funny to me. But anyway, the captain like kind of like gives is still he's actually like he's kind of doing this while he's looking at this. Oh gosh, let's see. Oh, which of you is he? Oh, jeez.
No.
Delilah. Yeah, no, he'll look at you. And he'll, as, like, absent-mindedly kind of eyeing this thing, is the information good?
James is going to, like, stare at Delilah like...
There is a 2-second pause, and then just... This was on the sidewalk when we arrived. We asked the other children in the area because apparently there had been more printed.
So you trust the suppositions of your squad mates in this?
Thus far, they have achieved the results and information that we require through otherwise unorthodox methods, but we have what we need.
Well, unfortunately, the only one of you who, frankly, I feel like I could ever trust to run this investigation, or the average commissary, is otherwise engaged. So, the three of you are what I'm left with. But, good job on finding this regardless. This was a needle in a haystack.
You know, we do what we gotta.
And while I will stress the need that these civilians stay on the side of Union.
Yes.
Good job.
Sir.
He just turns and looks at his squad mates like, told ya.
Dell gives him just I just saved your ass, you stop it.
I have to get back up to the ship. This isn't really my remit. Just needed to shake some hands and generally assure them that everything is going as planned. Let's make sure everything goes as planned.
There was one thing, if you have a moment before you go. The people from the second city have been locked in the backlog of the justice system trying to get reparations for the miscommunication between the first city and the second one that came much later with the legacy ship. Just wanted to run that by you. I think it might help to boost morale here if we can try and move that process along.
They got dusted by Blink Space. There's nothing they could have done.
DOJHR is a separate entity, and that's a boulder that rolls at its own speed, but I'll send messages back, see what we can do.
That's all we can really ask for. Thank you, sir.
So, good meeting, everybody.
Just wait until he says we're dismissed. That's how this works.
Sorry, one sec. I'm realizing that I changed the category one time, but then I had to go back and redo the start stream, and I'm trying to see if there's an easy way for me to change the stream title without restarting it, but it does not appear so. Okay. Well, oh well. Everyone's here for CouchCon anyway. He will head out. As he heads out, Commander Kierson will kind of step past him, give him a salute as he heads out of the warehouse / mech bay. And will she has a comp con with her that she's looking through a reef of hard copy that she's occasionally going back and forth between, trying to keep everything in order. She will kind of almost sheepishly look up at you guys and my apologies, pilots. We knew who you were up against, and I fear I underestimated him and let you all walk into an ambush. That sort of setup is the exact sort of thing that Captain Machinsky was always known for.
I kind of got that vibe.
It was pretty well executed, yes.
Nothing we could handle.
First,
I exploded.
You almost exploded.
One of the first rules of any battle is to make sure that you're the one in control of the situation. We did not do that, That is what he excels at. Do you know how he got his first title? How he became the ace?
No, ma'am.
Oh, but I'm very curious. I'd like to have that title.
Well, the full title at the time was the Ace of Hydron Pass. I don't think that's a title you'll be getting anytime soon, unless you plan on taking a vacation to Davos and starting another round of insurrection. It's a particular geographic feature on the planet, has, by my understanding, some importance between two of the major continents. Anyway, he held off a force of 2 squads, 8 mechs, himself, scoring 6 kills and escaping before reinforcements could arrive. That blow, that hesitation in the movement forward is estimated to have cost Union another 6 months of war on that planet. He's very good at what he does, and I did not properly prepare you for it. That is my job as a tactical officer, and I apologize for that. I have Ranger studying every piece of tactical information that we could find on him, on every battle he's been in. And I hope to find you a more complete dossier on that. But for now, we need to figure out our next move.
He has artillery, so unless we're planning an orbital bombardment on the area, which I don't think is a recommended practice for civilian areas, I don't see much of a way around this.
The Ptolemaeus has cooked with some limited capacity provide that sort of oversight capabilities, but no, the captain would never authorize it. As to surveillance, we're going to be limited by the laws of orbital mechanics. You can expect the Ptolemaeus to be on station for observance and communication roughly half of the time. Otherwise, the shadow of the planet is going to block any communications. We can cut that down to about a 2-minute window with some of our communications satellites, but the lack of infrastructure of this planet is going to prove to be a substantial disadvantage for our usual method of making war around here. You've now fought him. I'd be interested to hear any of your thoughts on how to proceed.
Really, guys?
Well, he knew where we were.
Yep.
It was a battleground chosen by him, clearly.
So his whole strategy is know what we're going to do and ambush us. So now the question is, what does he want to do? And don't do that.
This whole thing feels like it's been one big trap. He left the mech on the asteroid station on purpose, let us find it, and now all of a sudden these meteor strikes that were otherwise benign until they looked deeper into the reports turn out to be, drop ships. And then setting the stage for a battleground there. He wants people to follow him. I don't know why. He wants something from it.
Fair assessment. So how do we avoid those battlegrounds then?
Either we try to lure him into a trap of our own, which I don't think he's dumb enough to fall for, personally, or we try to take the fight to him as a pilot, not as a man in a giant mech suit.
Well, if we're going to bring the battle to him, we need to know where he is.
Well, how serious are you all about finding where this guy is?
I mean, we do have the dropship locations.
We do. And he is kind of a war criminal, so I think it does behoove us as, union representatives to at least identify and extract him from this situation. Especially since this is supposed to be a morale thing, and I'd really like not to bring war to this planet when we're supposed to be here to make the citizens like us.
I mean,
Certainly the orders that I'm under.
Just as a preference?
I'm not exactly sure that is going to be something that is entirely achievable. This guy has himself firmly entrenched in this place. That trap was perfectly set. He's got the people on his side already. Luring us out couldn't have worked without the toys being played with. I mean, for all the jokes that we're making about accosting the civilians here, we were willing to take that risk so that the trap worked. I mean, this guy has his hands in the cookie jar, and we're just getting to the kitchen. So, like, I don't know.
That's a good way of putting that.
How deep?
We need more
You
information.
were on the ground. How deep do you think that goes? I'm familiar with the captain mentioned the toy, and
Well, if you're asking me, based on personal experience, he's got the thing that matters most. He has the youth. The politicians of the other city, they're too hooked in their own ways to give a crap. But he's got a movement. He's got the people. If there's anything about this place that gives him an environmental advantage, they'll tell him. I mean, our intelligence has been, and this is no offense to you, sir, for shit. And that's, now he's got the people closest to the land. There will be no way of us rooting him out without things getting a little messy. But
I tried to ask the politicians of the councilwoman in the first city and the representative in the second city if there was any anti-union propaganda going around, and that yielded nothing. But I don't think this is above board, like Shadow Fall said. This is something that's happening in underground movements, if anything.
He's got the people that know the most about the land, and they don't have any resources. He has resources. They have the know-how. Yeah. Those mechs that we thought they didn't come from nowhere. And when we went to go find the dropship, we couldn't see shit. And the second that we even got close to seeing a damn thing, I was blown halfway to hell out of the sky.
Were those? Do we know if those mechs that we were fighting against were they piloted or were they automatically being run?
those were piloted.
They were piloted.
The automatic the one sort of
The one that was
that one you fought was a weird thing for someone to do. Like automatic defenses are more like what you saw, small drones, stuff like that. Actually giving them neck over to to an AI. It would normally be done more to like a non-human person,
Right.
but that runs into all of the issues of using a non-human person, including Cascade and everything, so that tends to be something done kind of in extremis to supplement the pilot far more than you're just mass arming a robot army, essentially. So yeah, all of those mechs you fought were properly piloted.
So he has people on his side. He has resources.
He-
He has trained pilots. And he has something that was able to print or the functionality to build cannons, artillery. He has a lot more resources than just a simple had to bail out of a spaceship kind of thing.
Well,
Sounds like he's had a city's worth of resources.
we do believe that those mechs were printed off-world.
And
From what we can gather, he has landed those with those dropships.
how many more do you think he has?
He escaped with the majority of the Davos 57th. That is one advantage that we have. He'll have the dropship printers.
Well,
But eventually he's going to make a push for the big printer if he needs more mechs.
that's the
Inevitably, he'll have to. That was likely his hope. Catch you in a trap and ensure that the way was empty to the city. He'll have to push for that printer at some point.
Well, I mean, we know the end game. We know the king piece. The king piece is the printer. That's where this thing boils down to. We just need to figure out the moves he makes to get there.
If you're concerned that the people of the second city are compromised, though, we can't sit idly. That just gives him the chance to fully bring them under his...
But we don't want to
banner.
push too hard either, or we'll just send them straight to him.
Also true.
This is trickier. I swear this is on purpose. He did that everything that he's done is a calculated effort.
It would fit the profiles that I've seen. He was a decorated war hero once upon a time. Much respected, in fact. I would have expected great things. I suppose, in a way, we got great things, just in the wrong direction. Terrible things. Nobody has ever argued that he does not know how to prosecute a war.
So,
As Mr. Lee pointed out, this is very much a endeavor that we have arrived second to. The cookie jar might just be empty.
how do we want to play this?
We can either wait him out, he'll have to come for the printer eventually, or try to get off world, and I don't think he has the capability of doing that while we're in orbit.
Well, he certainly won't have that ship for much longer. Techs are just about done with it. I believe they're expecting to scuttle it within the week.
So he's got a week to get to the printer. And
There are no indications he ever intended to go back to that ship. Frankly, I don't believe he ever expected for a Union troop contingent to arrive. Our arrival hadn't exactly been overly publicized. this isn't exactly a large unit that gets a lot of chatter. It was a small training exercise at most. I think he came here thinking that he could just more or less escape the situation and lay low. We just happened to disrupt that, and he's been going from there ever since.
Well, to me, it seems like the options that we have are like you said. We can lay low and give him the chance to make a move first. One of the best pilots out there with potentially knowledge from the locals. Give him all the time he needs to prepare and to calculate this attack. And we hope that we survive it. Because it's what? Just us. Right?
We've sent for reinforcements, but this isn't exactly the hinterlands, but it's also not a core world. It'll be a few months at best.
Yeah. Or we fight him. Maybe get lucky. Maybe get on his door sooner than he expects. I mean, that may involve knocking some heads. And it appears that some of us are a little squeamish. And he looks at his brother. But if we want to survive...
I'm not squeamish. There are just alternative ways to do things.
Please list them. It's a good strategy.
I didn't say the alternative. I didn't say the alternative things are legal. That's another discussion.
So then, what is whose head do you propose bashing?
I think that we need to pay attention to the other city. I think that if I could have your intelligence focus on anything, it would be any potential uprising.
We're an intelligence processing unit. If you bring us intelligence, I can help with that, but I don't have agents here. I can't exactly...
So am I going to have to worry about every crying grandma, mother, sister, daughter, father, son, uncle, brother, cousin? Or are we going to be able to get this information?
What information are you looking for?
I'm looking for whoever might be hiding this gentleman. He's got to eat. He's got to sleep.
This may be... I think at this point we have to start thinking of out of the box. When you can't find your stuff anywhere, you start, and when it's nowhere that when you've checked everywhere it could possibly be, eventually you have to look everywhere it can't possibly be. Right now we have a guy who's a war criminal and thus would not care about, say, doing things outside of the realm of the law in order to achieve his goals on a planet where there happens to be a community that is currently awaiting some sort of military help because they believe they've been wronged and have an axe to grind.
And the leaders from that other town already told us that there are sympathizers.
I'm not saying that the leadership is hiding them. All I'm saying is that's a lot of coincidences.
He certainly chose an appropriate place. Whether that was intentional or not, hard to say. But he certainly is willing to capitalize on it. That much is clear. If you think it's important to investigate the second city, that is certainly an option. But as I said, I'm afraid I only have one ground team.
Yep.
Yep.
So I guess we'll be doing some investigating then.
Seemed to go well the first time, mostly.
I think so.
There are a few things we should probably tidy up a little bit in terms of, addressing others. Maybe just a little bit. But otherwise, yeah, I think that we found out some very valuable information.
Exactly. And we did it all through legal means. And
Absolutely.
No one got hurt.
No one got hurt.
Indeed. Fortuitous that
The bar is so low.
There
and
you go.
the city didn't even there weren't even any accidents or mishaps from the temporary glitch in some of the traffic control sensors that happened around your visit.
Oh.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was
Nothing related to us.
strange.
Yeah.
But it's all right. Just a minor glitch in some civilian control software. Hardly something the captain needs to worry about.
Yep. I like the cut of your chin.
I'm an intelligence officer. We don't waste assets.
And as an aside, not that I am aware of what caused the glitch, per se. But if I was to guess, I would say that whoever may have caused said glitch, ipso facto, probably didn't mean to, necessarily, per se. And things just happen. Again, just as an aside, there is the
pure
theoretical
supposition.
chance that you might accidentally hack into the security systems of an entire city. It happens, Let's just. I don't know per se who did it. I'm just spitballing here.
Dill's just gonna put a hand on his shoulder, just stop.
Yeah, I'm just
If you're going to be doing close investigation, I would suggest quitting when you're ahead.
It's a good call.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
So,
I love this Chaos Squad.
so we're going to be investigating the city, seeing if you can't bring me something about the potential for insurgency. Who did you speak to in that city?
Oh,
That's a good question, because I am the worst at names. This is the player talking.
say.
One sec, I will.
It was a dude. I think it was in a ship house.
Roll to remember name.
That's what we do in my other D&D games, is roll with your best mental modifier, and then you'll somehow that pulls.
No, I
things
if
that you
it's something
forget.
if it's something your
Depending on
character
what it is.
would remember, I generally just.
I can't promise that James would remember.
That's fair. Del would remember a lot of my other characters.
Though I will say, I will say, having an RPG group with no note taker.
Oh, it's hard on this. We're juggling three.
Well, it's always like every RPG group ends up with like one note taker, like the one person who everyone like. The second the GM asks something, everyone in the room goes,
Well.
I think we had a note taker, and the
Yeah.
note taker got sick.
yeah, I was about to say, which means it was they. I believe it was Kondanani was his name. He was the head diplomat to the first city, essentially.
Head diplomat. Yeah. That guy talked in circles. Whole lot of circles.
And then the other one was a councilwoman from the first city.
The first city was the head of the city of council.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Katase.
I should get a journal so I can write things down. I found it upstairs.
Okay, so where do you intend to start?
Well, how are we feeling as pilots? Because I think that we basically just woke up about 16 hours ago. And we've been go, 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 go ever since. So I want to make sure that we as, theoretical flesh and body people.
I mean, this is probably like after like this, y'all are probably heading to bed. Because, yeah, by the time y'all got back, it was probably very late night. And, yes, your body's exhausted from the rigors of cryosleep, have been further taxed by a long day of
That's my excuse.
Blowing
for
shit
my
up.
Exploded.
blowing things up and getting
Still
blown
not
up.
feeling good.
I'm still
From
good to
the
go.
cryosleep. You have that mad look in your eye, like, where they get the little twitch going from being overtired. I'm still good to go. No, you're on your second wind. You're about to pass out.
Oh, hey! We are being rated. Hello, everyone! From Age Without Limits. Hope y'all had a fantastic time. We are currently playing Lancer. This is our Heavy Mecha, our Lancer live play. Our players are just chatting about the future of how they're intending to deal with the fact they all almost got blown up. So,
As you do.
except for Neon.
Almost got blown up.
Except for Neon, he didn't almost get blown up.
That's
Yeah.
right. I
I
just
want everyone to know
I
that.
mean, how almost is almost really?
I just violated several intergalactic.
We are also, if you hang around till the end of the stream, we are also doing a giveaway for a Lancer RPG book. So that'll be in about a half hour or so. So hey, stick around for that. Thanks for the raid. Really appreciate it. Okay, so I've never exactly run a ground-based intelligence unit, so I'm afraid that I can't give you a ton of help on where to go about. But if you tell me what you plan to do, I can do what I can to help out.
Is there any place in town that would have a record keeping of shipments coming in and out of the cities?
I mean, if you're looking for this side of things, yeah. I mean, just the majority of stuff that's heading out of this city is going to be printed stuff, manufactured, printed things.
Yeah.
And
Kind
so,
of resources that aren't being properly allocated, things that are going missing.
okay, so you're looking for sort of like suspicious printer activity.
Anything that could be traced to where our ace pilot has gone. Or who might be printing things for them.
Why did you order 35,000 pounds of fertilizer sort of stuff?
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Okay. What else are we what other angles are we hoping to kind of come at this from? I presume we're doing something in the second city.
Probably.
Any ideas on where to start for that?
Do we want to be hacking people's emails?
Maybe. Yeah.
We're gonna get up in people's business?
We need to find some. They're not telling us the whole story. Someone has communication with this person, obviously, because dropships are coming through, leaving these little Met guys around. Someone is either ordering them or orchestrating it. There's emails somewhere. There's always a trail.
Okay. So looking for the digital footprint being left behind. All right. Oh, I know you got something for me, James. I can see the look in your eye. You're gonna go to an elementary school and beat down kids in the parking lot until somebody gives it up.
I was just gonna go to the bar and see if I could hear any.
Okay.
Are you okay? Are she looks at she stops talking and then looks at Will instead. Just is that the plan? Is that just going to be going to the bar and just listening?
The bars are we going to like monkey bars?
You call Sweat Child. James is just gonna go. You know what? I need a drink, so I'm gonna go to the other town and I need to get a drink.
Okay.
That's terrifying for some reason.
So we're looking for suspicious printer activity. We're doing some email hacking. We're trying to find a digital footprint of where this is coming in and out of. We're going bar hopping.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely
always a good.
I thought this was happening simultaneously, like we're all investigating on our.
No, this is for right now. You're just like I said. This is it's probably almost midnight. At this point, y'all have gotten back. Yeah, y'all have been going. Y'all have been running for 16 hours straight, just straight through. Y'all literally got woken up, basically morning, as tracked by the planet. Immediately ran to check out the other ship. As soon as that was done, y'all probably got a few hours of sleep, waiting for everything to get packed, on the shuttle, maybe catching a nap. But then you hit the ground, and from there, you met the councilwoman. You were in the other city meeting their lead diplomat. And as soon as y'all were back, you hopped in your mechs to go out and check stuff out. So yeah, y'all been running pretty flat out here. So y'all are probably basically gonna go take the night, catch up on some sleep, start on your spy activities in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Is there any other avenues that y'all? And then basically, the more y'all give her, the more she can, help y'all out. She can find some bars for you. She'll be able to find likely spots, because the two places, like for what you're looking for, so you're basically trying to find like.
I'm trying to find this. I want to find the criminals, my people. Just.
You want to find the bar where you knock twice and then 3 times, and they direct you into the back, and you know.
The speakeasy.
Yeah.
I want to find where the hooligans like me are.
Alright. Would we be able to do a search for any sort of CompCon signal or anything along that lines. Basically, an area where we're noticing way more people are gathering than they should.
Okay, see if you can find sort of like unexpected gatherings.
Yes.
Is there anything on the social media here, actually?
We have canonically...
Facebooks.
We have clearly canonically established...
Excuse me. Spacebook.
We have...
Excuse me.
We have more or less canonically established...
We're not going to miss that opportunity.
That the BlinkNet does have some manner of social media, as Shadowfall has several times posted his...
Shadowfall is guaranteed to be a troll.
Let's
call it like...
We all know how much military installations love live tweeting from it. They're real big fans of that, let me tell you.
Shadowfall's absolutely tweeting out, this meeting could have been an email. Send tweet.
In the top, like, with the selfie of him like this, and you can just see top secret stamped on the envelope in front of him.
Looks like I'm making a James Lee Shadowfell Twitter account tonight. But mainly he's just been tweeting like, one kid, like, get over it.
He's just been trying to defend himself. I didn't even hit the kid.
Just a bunch of shrug emojis, like,
I only threatened the kid.
God.
He's gonna start getting into the philosophical arguments like, so you're saying if you met Kid Hitler, you would let him be fine?
You wouldn't hit Kid Hitler?
What if this was that kid? You don't know.
That's exactly what's on this Twitter. Yeah, I'm making a Shadowfall Twitter tonight. Okay, cool.
God damn it.
Let's go. All right. Yeah. Anything else y'all are?
No.
Any other angles y'all wanna?
He's gonna drink himself to sleep, probably.
This is probably more one of those nights like you set out to drink yourself to sleep. You get like 1.5 in, and you're already like out. That traveling through blink space takes it out of you.
Oh, that he probably could have noticed some strange side effects in the morning. Like, hey, just out of curiosity, did anybody else's armpits turn blonde? No? Okay.
I had the weirdest dream of a throbbing alien orb speaking into my mind. Is that normal?
Totally fine.
I don't know if it is, man.
Oh god, and what happened to Fuse too? He just wakes up. Armpit here.
Wakes up, she's got a blonde streak in her hair now. Just why? Fucking James. This is all his fault. Never getting in that goddamn neck again.
Gotta go fast.
All right. So we're
Time reserves. Will this be a time for downtime?
Yeah. This would be some downtime if y'all want to do some downtiming. There's.
What's my downtime things?
You can find it in
Yeah, I'm looking on my character sheet.
There's my 5-year-old off mute. He has chips now. He is appeased. Okay.
All right, let's see.
Downtime. So we have resources reserve, we got tactical reserve, we've got mech reserve, custom reserve, which we can just make, and then project. So whatever little project, if someone has one going on, that's where you would fill in those details.
Yeah, if y'all want to start up some projects that are kind of going to carry y'all through for the next, little bit of what you're doing in your downtime.
I would like to, during my downtime, takes time to actually look at wants. What is this?
Oh god, there's one called Get a Damn Drink.
Which in this case, that would be literally just getting a damn drink. That wouldn't be tied into y'all's future spy activities.
There is one that it would be tied to our future spy activities, and it's one that I have. And it's called Disguise.
Oh man. Del is supposed to be working with Gloria for the next couple of hours at least. So I think in that vein, she is going to help Gloria and add a redundant repair to her mech.
Okay, cool. Yep, that sounds very reasonable. Yep, you'll get it assembled, and it is...
Now make sure that you don't do this again, so I'm going to give you this little button to push.
Sparkling clean. Beautiful stuff.
My brand new mech.
So, yeah, I'm going to use my disguise downtime reserve.
Oh, you're disguising.
And start crafting a fake identity for myself.
Oh my god.
Okay, and so this is like a full fake identity that can pass.
Full fake identity. He's gonna like alter the way he looks a little bit, and he's gonna like fake even his social media presence where it's leaning in the direction of a sympathizer.
It's nothing serious. It's just like, I'm not saying unions shouldn't exist. I'm just saying, what have they done for us lately?
Advocate, like that guy, yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, totally fair. So yeah, you have it'll pass basic scrutiny. The cop can. Yeah. A cop can, as long as a cop's just like running, it'll come up legit enough. If anyone does any digging, it probably won't. You don't want to get like brought in for interrogation, but yeah, you now have a basic false identity.
Yep.
Will, what are you gonna do?
I'm trying to decide, to be honest with you. I didn't plan for downtime.
Neither did I.
So I'm going to...
Just the GM.
I'm going to... So there is the option, get creative. And basically, you describe a project, and you make progress, essentially towards making something to put in reserve for the future.
Okay.
And so it looks like the way it works is like, hold on. Okay, so I'm gonna have to roll. I have to describe what it is and roll. If I get a 1 through 9, I don't make any progress this time, but the next time we have downtime, I basically get automatic progress no matter what.
Okay.
If I get a 10 through 19, I do get progress, and the next downtime, I can just say I finish it, and I don't have to roll. If I get a 20, it's finished right now. Or a 20 plus, depending, it's finished right now. Given what we've been through, I kind of want to actually go the opposite and see if I can create a sort of a signal jammer not quite an EMP, but a signal jammer.
Yeah.
So if I want to disturb communications, but try and see if I can key the frequency to where, like, there can be a very specific band that still works, so that I can still communicate with.
Okay. Yeah. Everything but you.
Right. So
Okay.
they, like, mess up everyone's communications, but if they don't have this one specific band, but where we would still be able to. So let me go with that.
Cool. Yeah.
We're gonna roll. Now, given it says 20 plus, I'm assuming it's letting me apply
Let's see.
my trigger. Because
Because
otherwise,
yeah.
I would wonder how you would get 20 plus.
Yeah, I'm sure this includes triggers because it's a
So,
non-mech
plus-
activity.
Right. So +4.
Plus 4.
So
Cool.
you gotta be. Rolled a 5.
5. Okay.
+4 is 9. So great.
9.
So
Oof.
time I'm guaranteed to get
Yeah.
some
Okay.
progress.
You get the initial idea. Like you kind of you sketch out the rough outline of like what you're trying to do. You take apart one of the local CompCon units to kind of get an idea of what signal band it works in, how it works, and are comfortable that in the future you'll be able to
Figure this one out.
figure it out. Yeah. Okay. So, anything else anyone wants to do before we're pretty much gonna? It is almost 8, so it's about that time. So she goes off to run the giveaway here. Is there anything else anyone wants to do before we say y'all go to sleep to wake up in the morning and put on your spy hats?
Dell just wants to check her messages.
Okay. Yeah, no, nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Yes.
We'll just go to sleep.
He does his final tweaks on his alias, Walter Concrete, and then he goes to bed.
Walter Concrete. Why?
Soon you're gonna realize that the question you need to ask with James is why not.
Oh no.
All right, Wally.
That's the way it was.
All right. Anything else? We good?
I think we're all good here.
Okay, awesome. So, thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for coming and checking us out. Everyone who hosted us, followed us. Reminder, we are raising charity monies, things. So, I believe that, yep, Nightbot has been posting it throughout. Please, where are we at?
You're at. It went up during our stream. It went up to 12:35.
12:35. Okay, cool. So, continue to donate as you guys are able to. We appreciate it. Also, check out our virtual vendor hall. A lot of small businesses and stuff are struggling, especially with all these with physical cons being canceled and stuff. So, help out everyone you can, and let's give some stuff away. So, if everyone if everyone who is here and wants a chance to win a Lancer PDF, this is the full PDF. It has all the rules. It also gives you access to CompCon, which is the Lancer companion app similar to like D&D Beyond, except it's cooler and better. That's right, I said it. That's right, I said it.
Ooh, shots.
We were all thinking it.
You also don't have to sell your soul to curse. I say on Twitch TV. So if you guys will just do like say here or hi or give me stuff, please only do it once because I'm gonna have to do this manually because I didn't think to set up anything ahead of time.
Do it up.
I intended to do it for to ask someone about if I could set that up, but I didn't. So, if anyone wants a book, now's the time.
And go.
Maybe no one wants a book. Maybe nobody watches us. We've been doing this.
I will put my name down. Book.
We've been doing this for weeks, just playing by ourselves on here. Okay, cool. There we go.
Wonder who
I mean, the Twitter one literally went to the one guy who wasn't staffed to get it to tweet it. So I intended to promote it more. I didn't I didn't have the energy I expected to for that, and so at a certain point I went, you know what? He did it. That's cool. That's cool. And even one person is acceptable. Anyone else? Does anyone else want to? This is such a cool system. There's such cool art.
It's a free book. You'll learn so many things.
You can.
It's the person that wrote the comic "Kill 6 Billion Demons."
Yeah. Like I've been.
It's a piece of history, you guys.
I looked through all of their stuff. Okay, well, we'll keep it open here for another minute or two, but you know, if people don't.
One person that did is just like, no, just give it to
I
me.
know, right? Like Nazgul's there, like, no, it's cool.
Come on,
it's cool.
Give me the book. Give me the book.
Does anyone else need a chance to win? I got this. I'm cool. Yeah, I'm just happy to get this book into people's hands. I mean, they're doing really cool stuff. Like, actually, they are running a thing where if you donate to a charity, you can get a book from them. So, by the way, if you donated to through CouchCon, you can, as long as it was $25 or more, you can send Massive the receipt and get a book for free, because they're doing their part to support. You know, they got $500,000 in a Kickstarter that was looking for like 50,000. So they've done a lot to support the community since that. It's one of the reasons I love this system. It's cool to play. It's cool to play a system by cool people that you don't have to have Twitter arguments about.
Right.
Just the amount of work that goes into making the system is ridiculous.
It is nuts. I have a friend of mine who's working on making his own system right now, and just...
You know what system I was thinking? I was at work on 3 hours of sleep for like the third day in a row, and you know what I want to make? I want to make a tabletop RPG about being a player in a tabletop RPG.
Oh god, I can already see some of the classes.
It's called Inception.
What would that what would that look like?
I want to play a level 25 edgelord.
I just all of a sudden, like the Inception, I just want to hear the sound effect. The
pretty much.
I'm
gonna go deeper.
You know, I started off at edgelord, but I took some levels in murder hobo as well. So
it's a common multi-class.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyone else who
here's the thing, in the system you play as a player, but then does your player play their system? Like, do you have to design the system within the system?
Yeah, you would have to play and there'd be like different systems within the system. Like an edgelord certainly couldn't play, like whatever the in-universe equivalent of mouse guard is. It's not very edgelord.
Proficiency in 5th edition, 3.5.
Again, anyone who wants a freelancer book, put your name in, make it a coin flip.
It's what it's looking like right now, and one of them is me.
Sorry, Meg. I
Can't be me.
I love you, but I'm not going to give it. But it feels awkward. That would be a little bit awkward.
It would be. Just
I'll roll.
It's me.
I'll do a coin flip. Just
listen.
Neither of them is going to you.
Not as awkward as it feels. Like, love Meg, but it's exactly awkward as it feels.
That's the thing. Like,
I'm just trying to get the ball going.
Maybe everyone must have
3 minutes left.
Everyone already went out and bought their Lancer book.
Listen, there's a local hobby shop that they went out of business, and I understand why. A part of it was, not that I root for it, mind you, but a part of it was like they would have Friday Night Magic, and the guy who owns the place and his best friend would play with access to all the cards that were behind the counter and everything.
Oh.
So they'd have these crazy decks that like they had
Well-
whatever card access, and we're like, yeah, that doesn't seem fair because then when you what?
And then you super can't trust like the pairings at that point either.
Exactly. I was
It's like they can put in
so
whatever they
I
want.
went once, and then I'm like, I'm good on this.
When you know they're not handing out the prizes properly at that, like if you're doing one scumbag thing in a game shop, you're probably doing all of them. I'm super fortunate because there are so many good game shops around me.
Oh, I found another one since,
Yeah.
and I'm really happy about that fact because it's like they're good people. But it was just when I went to that one, I was like, yeah, I'm not
Even
gonna
the
go
like,
there.
there's
And
a
they shut down shortly after. I was like, yeah, I'm not.
there's a lot of middling game shops around me, but there's also some really good ones. Okay, cool. Well, I think we're gonna call it. Nazgul, you're the winner. Congratulations. I'm gonna give you a book. I sincerely hope you're not the same guy who did this on Twitter because that would be funny. I wonder if he's here. Because I'm pretty sure I've seen him pop up in chat before. Let me see if I can find that. This also happened to explode.
Turns out to be Nazgul, and he's like, I've got twice as much Lancer now.
Unfortunately, I cannot give it to the same person twice because I'm gonna have to get an itch.io. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. Well, thanks everyone for coming. I presume there's more viewers that maybe just didn't want to get in the giveaway, or maybe we're playing for one person. In which case, Nazgul, you're the best fan. So thanks everyone for coming out. Stick around at 8:30. We'll be doing DM Shot Day, one shot for DMs, where all of the poor beleaguered DMs who have been stuck behind the screen for all these years finally get to pull out one of their 10,000 characters they've written and play them on a stream in a real game, and not have to organize everyone, and not have to get the time, and not have to organize dinner, and not have to do all of everything. So, watch them. They deserve it. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week, 5 p.m. And I hope you all have a great one. Donate to CouchCon. Buy stuff from the vendor's room. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you guys.
Bye. Happy
Out.
CouchCon.